Worms are everywhere, all around us. If you went outside now and looked in your garden, you would find dozens, hundreds even. Scientists estimate that for every 26 kilograms of biomass of mammals above ground, there is a corresponding 330 kilograms of worm biomass below ground. They outweigh all mammalian life by around 12 to 1. Although they are simple creatures, you can teach a worm to find its way out of a maze by shining lights down the correct passages. If you cut a worm in half, each half will grow into a new worm. If you take a worm that has been thought its way out of the maze and cut it in half, astonishingly, each half will now also know its way out of the maze. Even more incredible, if you mince up the worm that knows its way out of a maze and feed it to a different worm, that new worm will now also know its way out of the maze, a maze it has never seen or been near. Worms are amazing creatures. They operate a kind of cellular memory that has never been observed in any other creatures. Swiss scientists, wanting to know more about the astonishing properties of worms, laced the food of hundreds of earthworms with radioactive isotopes to allow them to trace these amazing creatures' underground paths and habits. They were shocked to discover that over time, every worm made its way to the same location, sometimes traveling hundreds of miles underground. Once they reached this point, all the worms seemed to begin to travel slowly in the same direction. This is how the Worm King was discovered. He tunnels underneath us, this king of worms, a pale giant, corpulent and stinking of the grave. He calls all of his subjects to pay homage to him. They come, and with them they bring knowledge. For the monstrous Worm King devours them all. His knowledge and his power are always growing. Worms are simple creatures with simple minds. But consider grave worms, who devour first our eyes, and then our brains, as we lie rotting in the earth. Is it really nourishment they seek? No. There are servants of the Worm King sent to find out what we know. They use their unique cellular memory to take our thoughts and our memories back to their cruel master, to show the Worm King what the world above looks like. Over half of the world's population have parasitic worms living inside their bodies already. Threadworms, pinworms, roundworms, hookworms, and whipworms are just the Worm King's troops already positioning against us. They squirm inside you, unseen and unknown. He lies beneath us, this Worm King, seeing what we see, knowing what we know. He grows jealous of the brightness and warmth of our world above ground. He plots, and he schemes, and he waits. He knows his time is soon at hand. He knows his assassins are in place, and he likes his 12 to 1 odds.